Hey, what's going on, guy? Oh, hey, how are you, sir?
Hey, good. Trying to put this deal together for you, my man. I want to work all the angles and get you the best possible deal that makes the most sense. Obviously, you've got all the right information. You've got research on deals, which is all fine. I'm going to give you an absolute bottom dollar. I'll give you a first offer. That's going to be everything. So you can take that to any as well. It doesn't necessarily matter what you know what I mean? At the end of the
Right
day,
now, you're going to notice he's doing the majority of the talking when I'm the one that holds the keys to the deal.
So if you'd like, I'd like to be able to get you that information.
Yeah, I actually, right now, what I'm looking for is where you guys are at an actual cash value on my truck.
Okay, so we're going to be at 77 grand for yours.
Okay, so then we're not going to be able to put a deal together. And I'm kind of curious as to why you would be that far off of market value. Is there any, dislike for this type of vehicle, or are you guys not having good luck?
Love the truck. It's got eyes. It's built right. It's got the look. Thing is definitely sweet. Something we'd love to have. The problem that we run into here in this market where I am is, spending that kind of money on a used vehicle. Most of our customers tend to just go something new at that point. It's just a little harder of a sell. I'm not saying it's not worth the money. Because I can see in there where they're going pretty close to that 80 grand mark, like at the auction with similar miles.
Well, they're actually at the auction right now. They're doing about 82, 83 grand with similar miles. That's based on MMR, which I understand you guys aren't probably going to send the truck to Mannheim. That's why I said 80. I was trying to give you a little bit of leeway there.
I hear you. No, we don't send them to Mannheim. We use ACV, but we got State Line. There's other. I'd like to just retail the truck. Honestly, I'd love to put the truck on our lot for like 82,990 is what I was thinking. But while I got you on the line, do you have a few minutes? We'll just run through what I'm looking at together.
I can. We could do that, brother. But all due respect, I don't want to be wasteful of your time. I can tell you, if you guys are not at 80 grand on my truck, we're not going to put a deal together.
Right, but is the other dealer?
Unless you sold me your truck 3 grand behind invoice, which I wouldn't expect you to do, obviously. So.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is that dealer dipping into the holdback or advertising credits?
No, I don't want them to do that. I'm telling them that I'll buy the vehicle for $300 over, but I know that holdback and ad credits aren't $3,000. So also, I'm not going to put myself in a position where if you guys are able to sell me the truck clean deal, back a holdback and ad credits, that you're going to steal my trade for 3 grand. So that's why I'm establishing each figure separate of one another. I appreciate what you're doing, brother. I just, I didn't want to divulge this because when I do, no one ever takes me seriously, but I am a car dealer. I worked for Ford for several years. I don't usually like to bring that up because everybody thinks you know everything. And well, I'm just, yeah.
And just so you know, the Ford invoice only shows 2%. There's another 1% that's back. So there is about 3 grand hold back on that truck. So it's like $2,600. But here nor there, I'm just trying to put a deal together for you. I'll send you over our best offer. I'll have it in writing, and if we win, we win. If not, it was a pleasure, and I thank you for your time.
That's more than fair, brother. I appreciate that.
Right.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
Bye now. Okay, so it didn't end too bad, but unfortunately, the guy was so concerned with winning the conversation. There was an opportunity to sell me a vehicle there. Very simple. First of all, what he was trying to do is convince that, I can get so far behind invoice on mine, I can save you the 3 grand on the price of my truck and make the same deal, which is not congruent with logic, because if that were the case, he would just maintain the profit in his truck and he would take my vehicle and trade for $80,000. Yeah. Furthermore, excuse me, I asked him clean deal what my price would be, and he said $1,000 over invoice, and he said, we're not gonna, we don't get into crazy deals, this is a desirable vehicle, blah, 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 which then means that he's bullshitting on the front end or the back end. So either way, it doesn't make sense, but what was amazing to me is, and no disrespect to that guy, obviously he ended the conversation on a fair, amicable note, but if you're in sales and the very first thing that you do is give the customer a 5-minute dissertation about where you're at, why they're wrong, what's going on, it is a significant red flag that you do not have a good or a logical education on what sales is. Sales is a process of investigating a situation, garnering information from the customer because they hold the keys to the deal, okay? If that guy simply said, hey, Luke, I'd like to sell you a vehicle, what would it take to do so? And I said, okay, 80 grand on my vehicle. And he said, okay, well, my truck is 80 grand. Your truck is 80 grand. So if we just trade clean deal, we can make a deal. He could have logic trapped me into a yes, and then he could have showed me 77 grand for my trade and 3,000 behind holdback for his, met me at a zero net difference figure, and then made the deal, which I promise you he wouldn't have sold the truck 3 grand back at invoice. Right. But the bottom line here is you're never going to sell anything to somebody by forcing information down their throat. The way you're going to sell something to somebody is by asking them what they're looking to do and trying to meet them in the middle. So, typical new car dealer. Happy selling.